buzzer. Hey, stop.
That's the alarm to tell us that stream has started on time.
Yes.
Never late.
Yes. Hello and welcome to episode number 10, and what would it be if we were not scuffed?
Is it episode 10?
Probably a good podcast.
This is episode 10. I've been saying it's episode 10 for the last 6 episodes, so I'm bound to get one right. So yeah, everyone, my name is Hops. That is going to be Squid, and the lovely face you're seeing below me right now is the Maple Syrup OW. Say hello, boys.
He's beautiful.
Hello.
All right, can we put him back behind the Sigma Toes picture again now?
I kind
Do it.
of want to.
Do it.
So,
do it.
It's been a little bit of time since we have been on chat. What's been new in your guys' gaming lives?
Nothing.
PTR, Overwatch. I hit top 500 on all 3 rolls, which is a tremendous meme because
Wasn't the support
one of them was at
like...
2400. So I guess I played the game more than. I'm one of the top 500 people that played more than 200 or 25 games on each roll.
Oh
on
man!
PTR.
Oh,
Worth
that's
it.
why. Okay.
Worth it for the screenshots.
Have you guys had a chance to take a look? Have you guys had a chance to even download the current patch that's on there right now and give it a shot?
I played quick play for 2 matches and I wanted to shoot myself in the head.
I played one comp game that was fun, but it was also in a 5-stack with people that we know, so hard to evaluate.
Sigmas that didn't know how to play Sigma, healers that didn't want to heal.
So a typical day in gold.
Typical day in
Yeah.
QP.
Yeah.
They don't have roll lock. They said they
So-
were going to, and they didn't add it.
It's a soft roll lock. The whole idea is that it's not gonna be a roll queue, but it is roll lock. So it's first come first serve when you hit quick play.
Okay, so I didn't see that because I was the first one to hit. I selected the hero first.
Yep.
I just didn't see it.
And so if your Overwatch is not on an SSD, you are screwed.
So
At least
I
quick
thought
play.
I thought I saw something today where apparently one of the devs posted on the forums or something that this was a bug, and that it should be the normal
Roll queue.
like roll queue once, like I guess they'll have to patch it or something, and this is just something that didn't get patched right. But I don't understand how they always seem to have problems like this, because I feel like if you're using version control and testing things, which any large software development team should be doing, we shouldn't be having problems like this.
It wouldn't be the first time that Blizzard has released a patch incorrectly.
I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth when they say that this is not the right version of QP that we should be playing. Like, so I don't care. Whatever. I mean, it sucked. It was really, really crappy.
I mean, it's quick play.
Yeah, it's okay.
So-
Just play comp. Comp should actually be
I didn't have
somewhat more
time.
playable today.
I didn't have time. I was
So-
starting like right before we started this.
So bonus points to chat or my co-host as I turn off my goddamn phone for what song was playing in the
Irresponsible
intro to
host.
this.
I wasn't even listening to the music. I was just listening to voices in my head.
My
That's a
only
hint,
guess,
Maple. That's a hint.
my guess was that it's the Sigma like trailer music. Nailed it.
Yes.
All right, I get all the bonus points.
Yes,
Give me
you-
all
you
your
do-
clout and scrim bucks.
Was it?
don't-
This? Wait, what was it?
It was the "What is that melody?" The actual song.
Was it? Was it seriously?
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
said
it was the full version.
I just said it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Really funny.
Yeah. Bugs get released to live, and you release every day. Well, I mean, yeah. And it's impossible to release a product with 100% zero bugs, and anybody who says that's not the case.
Helba would say it. Ruin.
Okay.
Elf.
That's a name. No. Shh. So, smaller bugs. Yeah, so the first thing that I was actually, it's not on the run sheet, so I'm gonna drop it real fast. I was thinking about this on the drive home. What do you guys think about the huge investment that Triumph got from NBA Hall of Famer Kevin Garnett?
Honestly, the only tweet I saw about that, it looked like it was a meme. So I haven't thought about it at all.
Well, Bad Pacamari did meme pretty hard when Triumph lost this afternoon, but it's huge that an NBA All-Star, I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer now or if he's going to be, is providing a significant investment in esports.
Well, and I think it's important to indicate that it's not just an investment into esports. It's an investment into an organization that's fielding like not tier 1 teams, right? We look at the fact that this is a tier 2 organization in Overwatch. I'll be honest, I don't know what Triumph has outside of Overwatch, and if any of you want to chime in on that.
I don't think they have anything.
They do. They have Apex. They have Fortnite.
Apex doesn't count because Apex doesn't have a scene.
Yeah, that's incorrect. Apex's scene is actually starting to pick up some fairly significant steam.
Like, didn't they just recently announce?
Well, the smart people will get in when it's just starting to grow, you know.
Okay. Well.
But no, I think especially within the NBA, we've seen a lot of people that have come to invest in the esports. I think a lot of them have followed in the success of Rick Fox, honestly, and the Echo Fox brand, which has been, up until the recent controversies, has definitely been one of the premier organizations in the fighting game community, right? And they have some of the biggest names in the fighting community right now between, Mewtwo King and MK Leo, who just won his second straight tournament in a row and second straight 2-0 to 2-3 reverse sweep over Tweak, which just feels bad, man. So we also saw, I think, when the Shock first got announced, we saw Shaquille O'Neal was one of the investors in NRG when that happened, right?
Yep.
So I think they're starting to see that this is something that's definitely going to be monetized at the very least. Whether or not it'll be successful is another question. But it's definitely something that money's coming into, and they see that and they see the value. And I'm sure some of them are at the age where they have kids that like to play the game. So it's
I was gonna say a lot of it's because they play the game in their free time, and they just want to support it, support the scene.
It is kind of weird how NBA players seem to be ahead of the trend in terms of other athletes.
I don't know if it's that strange because a lot of NBA players, like more than a lot of sports, like that's just where like any person, if they have the skill, can get picked up by the NBA. Like if you see like people who are down their luck, like poor people who just don't have anything going for them, get picked up by the NBA, and so they want to help out people who are like shitting themselves through the tier 2 scene, I guess.
But at the same time, it has been shown.
At the same time, yeah.
But it has been shown that it's something like 80% of NBA basketball players are dirt broke, whereas other athletes are not in that same category. NFL players are broke about 50% of the time. It's not like baseball.
Players are concussed, though.
FLM says it might have to do with a lack of violence compared to football or hockey.
I think I just actually admit it. My excuse, it was bullshit. I would be the first to admit that.
Maple's just talking out of his ass. I think
NBA players are just with it. I think they know.
Yeah.
I definitely think that NBA players are able to market themselves a lot better. And the culture behind the NBA 2K series and their popularity not only within the NBA players, but then also just the NBA and basketball culture, I think is very, very huge. And I think that traditional sports games like Madden and NBA 2K and FIFA, I think you're going to start seeing a lot more investment and a lot more serious organization in professional leagues for those games.
We'll see. I don't know. I haven't really followed NBA 2K League all that much, but last time I saw it, it was kind of seemed like a big old meme.
I'm not sure if it would develop past collegiate scene, honestly.
I mean, if you look at it, I have all this information on my work computer, but there are at least 8 professional NBA teams that have a sponsored esports league in the 2K League. So there's some serious money getting pumped in there. It's just a matter on if that can actually break past the niche viewing audience and actually entertain more. And I think the fact that they don't have a legitimate streaming superstar that would bring the casuals in to watch the game, I think that's going to end up hurting it. I mean, there was a guy. Oh, why am I blanking on his name?
Billy.
No, he's the guy that plays WoW, and he's with Asmongold a lot. Squid, you and I, S-Fan. He was playing Madden 20 right after one of the WoW Classic servers got shut down, and he was pulling almost 18K viewers on Madden.
Oh, Jesus.
So I think the fact that they don't have a superstar streamer, or they don't have a major personality, is going to hurt.
I don't know how much viewership you would get even if you did like pull in a high viewership streamer. Like eventually people just get bored and leave the stream, because it's like, why would you not just watch the actual sport?
Yeah, and this has always been my kind of big, not like gripe with like these like more traditional sports video games, but I think they, or maybe it just for me personally, but how I view it is that like I enjoy playing those games where it's about real sports, but then when I want to go watch the highest level of that, I want to actually go watch the actual game itself, right? Because I know that there's all this physicality involved with it and everything, blah, blah, blah. But then I know that when we get into things like shooters or the fighting game community or anything like that, that it's something that we literally are not at the point in the world, or maybe we are and we just don't want to talk about it, but we can't like mirror that in reality.
Yeah.
And so really like the only way that you can see that in the highest level of play is like in a computer game.
I guess people don't want to watch it because you can just watch the real thing, and the real thing is like more nitty gritty. Like it feels real, and then there's like a gratification in knowing that someone's like actually out there tossing a ball around. But you play it because you want to live vicariously through professionals, and you want to feel like you're getting some sort of experience of like the NBA experience. And,
So,
like, playing basketball, even though you suck at it.
But to tie into exactly what you said, when you say living vicariously through the video game, isn't that what the main argument about how first-person shooters creates violence is, that you're living vicariously, committing violence through that? That's going to be a segue into our next little topic.
Oh no, I don't know what our next topic is. So
The next topic is the fact that video games are the devil.
The devil
okay.
incarnate.
And
well, as somebody that also listens to metal music, I'm well qualified to talk about this because clearly I hail Satan in like the normal daily motions of my life.
That was
a funny retort.
okay. Yeah, that was a little weak.
I know. I was like, where? Okay. So, but my biggest argument is that I remember when the original Duck Hunt came out, because I am that old, and my grandmother told my mother that I should not be playing Duck Hunt because I had a toy gun, and I was shooting at the screen, and it was going to teach me how to shoot people in real life. So I have been hearing that argument since the late 80s? And
yeah,
like it's just oh man. We should
I guess the difference between like an FPS and like NBA 2K is that like NBA 2K, like if you were more dexterous or athletic, you could have played basketball, but I'm never going to be in a situation where I'm going to be Tracer flitting around and time traveling. So I guess
not with that attitude.
Give the military like 10 years. We'll see what happens.
I guess the difference between like the two and living vicariously is one is realistic and the other one is not.
Okay, but then where do you draw the line with that argument, though, right? Because when you get into more realistic shooters like
Call of Duty and Rainbow Six and PUBG,
or in the case of COD, like it's something that's realistic, but it's not like socially acceptable to want to live through it vicariously, and or it's not like.
Are you okay? I'm just gonna mention, it's not socially acceptable to live vicariously. Have you ever seen an army recruitment commercial?
That wasn't what I meant to say, and I was trying to find other words to express.
Okay, because I'm just saying it's like the army specifically targets those Call of Duty fanboys.
Yeah.
To try to say, hey, basically, don't like live your fantasy in real life. So.
Which is fucked up in its own special way.
Yeah, because remember, America's Army was released, 10, 15 years ago as a legitimate actual recruiting tool.
Have they made an updated version of that game?
I don't think...
Or is it still, like, the old one?
I think America's Army ceased development, like, in the late, or 0809 area. But
did they just like replace it with the Medal of Valor series?
I think they're two completely separate series.
I know they are, but like that's the next closest thing I can think of.
Well, I'm just saying, America's Army went off to the side, and Battlefield came back.
It's okay. I saw an article about UK military like drafting ads, not drafting. I can't think of words today, but they were like trying to appeal to gamers to join the army and like add their quick wits to the mix. And it's like, oh god, this is awful.
All right, so let's go ahead and transition off of this topic, which I could go.
Also,
anyway,
NBA 2K is just boring. I don't get it.
Well, and that's the thing is like I tried showing a lot of people Overwatch, and a lot of my family and friends, and they're just like, it's pixel garbage, it's pixel vomit. I don't get it. But yet they'll go and they'll play Madden for 17 hours a day.
My girlfriend is just like overwhelmed by the number of like
Overwatch
colors,
is probably the least friendly spectator esports title we have. Even
I think you can make an argument that MOBAs are worse.
Fortnite might be worse too. Fortnite makes no sense anymore.
Okay, but I disagree with that, because MOBAs, the actions are so slow and so methodical, and you'll have big flurries of actions, but then it'll go back and it can reset and it can rest and it can relax, whereas the casters have a chance to explain everything that is going on that's happening.
That's true.
I was Fortnite has the same thing.
Visually.
Yeah.
Strictly visually, I think MOBAs are worse than Overwatch. But
yeah, because there's so many abilities.
As Pav was saying, MOBAs are worse for complete newcomers. Overwatch is worse in general. Fortnite is not bad. I think that the spectator viewing over the shoulder in third person is bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think from a spectator perspective, that's awful, because it's, yeah. But then again,
do they even have like free camera spectating in that game yet, or no?
No.
That's just one of those things that they have to put together, and I think that'll really make things a lot better. Like, especially like.
Yes,
so
they
I
do.
Think
Chat is correcting us. Yes, they do have that.
They do.
Camera.
Okay. Well, shows how much I watch Fortnite.
CS:GO and Rocket League are definitely the best spectators.
Rocket League, I think,
they're both simple. They're both intuitive. They're both like very one-directional in what you're watching.
Well, basically, for Rocket League, all you have to do is say it's soccer with cars, and 99.
How dare you simplify it to that extent? It's
99%.
It is soccer with rocket cars.
Okay.
Excuse you.
But 99% of the normies out there will understand exactly the core concept.
Love that there are models in that game that are actually banned from competitive play, because they're so like, why would you make models that you then ban from your tournaments?
Well,
ask Rainbow Six, who's banned some heroes.
Did they really?
Yeah,
that's so dumb.
Rainbow Six has had a hero that has been banned since the day it was released. Lion.
Lion? Yeah.
Don't know if I've ever played with Lion.
And
it's been banned since the dawn of time.
Rainbow Six is actually starting to pick up a lot of steam. Golden Boy is going to start hyping and doing a lot of their hostings. So I'm interested to see, especially with the new Ghost Recon game, if they can like step things up. It'll just be interesting. Also, CS:GO is great for casters to see what's happening in advance. I'll take your word for it. I don't think I've ever really watched much CS:GO
matches.
I think CS:GO is, I would have to think, is kind of like a caster's wet dream, because there is I'm just trying to think about it in like this kind of way, right? So not only do you have kind of like the MOBA thing where you have really aggressive, like really fast sections, but you also have slower sections. But you can also look at an overhead map and basically know exactly what's going on and like what rotations are happening and everything. And those mean something fundamentally different than they do in something like Overwatch, I think. But then you also have the hype moments where you can go first person spectate, simple as he pops off and clutches like 1v4 or something like that, right? Like it just has this perfect mix of different things that can build into something that, at least from a caster's perspective, is like fantastic to work with. And I don't know if Overwatch has all those things.
No, it doesn't. I mean, and I will say that I mean this sincerely, and I've watched almost every game of the Overwatch League except for Saturday and Sunday games this last weekend. I sincerely dislike watching May Reaper more than I ever disliked Goats.
We're
I
doing
like
it, boys. We're
like
shitting on the
watching
new meta.
certain teams playing May Reaper because it's funny watching some of them how they play Reaper, but most teams just like walk forward, shoot, 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 freeze the Devo, throw down May ult, shoot, 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 shoot. It's like, God,
Now,
damn, this is
May,
boring.
May Widow, May Hanzo,
Ooh.
May McCree have all been really fun to watch, but I don't know what it is specifically about
It's because it's so
Black
great.
Ice that
Like,
is just so bad.
I could play that with Silvers and just say, shoot the frozen thing, and they would do it.
I think so. Statius alluded to this a little bit when he was on the podcast and talking about why it was there.
Maple,
But I
don't
think
scratch your
Reaper-
ass on camera.
Reaper is just like
My
the
spine, thanks very much.
Reaper is like the tofu of the meta right now. Like he doesn't like he just kind of fits and like he meshes with everything, but he doesn't really contribute any of like his own like ish to the thing. He's just like, okay, he has a little bit of mobility and a little bit of utility and a
Well,
little
if you've
bit of
never had
damage,
tofu,
but
my
like
friend.
maybe I just haven't had good
I
tofu.
I would describe tofu as the
Oh,
the main
God.
support. You need it. You need it to carry the dish through because it provides substance.
Well, you say that because you're vegan and can't have any other source of protein. But anyway, we
This
should talk
is
about
true.
vegan pizza now. Hops, I
yes,
did
we
the
should.
transition for you.
Delicious. It was so good. That hot sauce was amazing.
Tofu is not great FLM. You are a bad person, and you should
He
feel
didn't have
bad.
tofu. He had seitan. It
But-
was it was
It was
something.
we
It was
so
good.
yeah. My man Maple and I did meet over the weekend. He took me out to a date. It was very nice. We
It was
only got
true.
to second base because it was very populated. So I feel a little cheated in that respect. But I did have a vegan buffalo chicken pizza that was fantastic.
It was. I had a mac and cheese pizza. It was delicious.
Those
It was a good time.
mac and cheese pizza doesn't sound like a real pizza.
It was mac and cheese on a pizza.
As a
Yeah.
New Yorker, I reserve the right to be offended by that topping on
Well,
it.
it was like a special one. They just added to the menu. Like they had rotated it in. They like do menu rotation.
Yeah, my point stands.
Yeah, Chicago has better
Hops-
pizza anyway.
Hops was really good.
Get out.
I don't want to get his hot
Go
sauce.
make a new podcast with Labasco instead. Talk
My-
about Chicago pizza there.
My only problem with the pizza was towards the end because we were talking so much and it was taking so long to eat the pizza. The cauliflower lost some of its structural integrity,
Yeah.
so it was unsatisfying texturally from there. But people watching in that section of Portland was interesting.
Oh, they were. Yeah. Yeah. Also, I have not tried the Impossible Whopper because they bake that on the same grill they make their regular burgers, so it's just like.
Oh, but they have this
Okay.
tool that they scrape the grill.
I will say
They
it
don't
probably
scrape the
suffers-
grill.
it
I've worked at a
probably suffers from the same problem, but I've been getting the Impossible burritos at Qdoba, and they're actually pretty good. Like, the
They do it
Impossible is
so
good.
good at Qdoba. I've had it. It's delicious.
Wait, did you just call it Qdoba?
Yeah, that's what we call it here.
Yeah, it's Qdoba.
Also, yeah, they
What?
know how to treat it over there.
Even the
It's so
commercials over here say Qdoba.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Is it?
fascinating.
Is the Impossible one cheaper than the regular
It's
like?
Qdoba. Like with
Shut
it's
up.
pronounced with a K.
Weirdo.
Qdoba.
No.
Are you?
Maybe it's an
drunk?
East Coast thing. I don't know.
It's a squid thing. Also,
Speaking
do you
of
know
squid,
if the? Oh God, just say your sentence.
I was gonna say, speaking of squid, guess what I had for lunch today.
Oh,
You have
Jesus.
calamari for lunch?
I had
Did you
I had
have-
spicy
I was-
fried calamari.
I was gonna
Anyways,
guess tofu.
Nailed it.
It's more
Mabel.
expensive. I thought it was like the same price.
Qdoba is better than Chipotle because Chipotle doesn't give you E. coli or explosive diarrhea.
It doesn't give you E. coli if you don't eat their meat, and you get free guacamole in the mix too.
The E. coli was coming from the lettuce.
The second one
Yeah.
was. The first one was coming from one of the meats.
Oh yeah.
Actually, one of the
I'd also forgotten that the second one was from the lettuce. I'd forgotten about that.
one of the so it was only like really a couple restaurants on that second wave of E. coli stuff, and mine was one of them.
And then they closed
Hooray.
down all the stores
Pennsylvania.
for a day to do sanitation
Yeah.
workshops.
Good times.
Meanwhile, we've had a pita pit here in town get shut down 3 times for health violations.
We don't have any pita pits in Oregon. They're only in Washington. I don't like pita pit. It's kind of boring.
It's boring, but I mean, it's not bad.
What is
not
pita pit?
bad. It's Subway only with pita and Greek.
With pita breads.
I could fuck with that. Greek food is good, man.
It's okay. They don't really season anything, so it's. Really...
Oh, that's
I mean,
a bummer.
it's generic fast food, mass processed
Do they
fare.
even have like the spinny gyro like meat?
No.
No.
Why is that bother? That's
Yeah,
not
they don't
right.
have doner.
That's dumb. Okay.
Which like
I don't
every
want
third stall at University of Calgary had a skewer of doner just sitting in the back, and people would carve it off. You just watch them, you're like, wow, that's a little horrifying. Like,
That tastes amazing.
I get it, but also it's
I mean,
a little horrifying to watch.
It's not. I mean, at that point, the animal's already dead, so the crew, like...
No, it's not that. It's just like, can you imagine how much like sweat is just kind of like sprayed onto?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that was really the.
Yeah, but it cooks off. It evaporates. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
So-
There's heat.
So to address chat right now, I want to bring Bebop on our podcast one of these days, disguise their voice, put a maple gif over the top of their face, and have them talk about why Chipotle is bad and
What was the other thing?
why you shouldn't eat French fries at any
Fries.
major.
I guess we're just
Fries
not an
and
esports
fast food.
podcast anymore.
I mean, really? Okay.
Esports adjacent.
Esports.
Jeez.
Everyone's got to eat. Everyone's
Because we're
got
all
to eat.
related to esports.
And
That's
the
how we
amount-
justify this.
The amount of Chipotle that I know for a fact the Overwatch League players eat is shocking.
Oh,
It is not shocking to me. I would believe that it would be
I
insane
would
quantity.
believe any amount. When I first moved back to Oregon, I ate an ungodly amount of Chipotle.
I
I will.
will-
Not lie.
I will say that Jane introduced me to a place in Burbank that's called Lucifer's Pizza. I would drive the 23 hours to Burbank to have that again.
Wait, is that one of the like heavy metal pizza places where it's
I
like
think
all
so.
metal themed pizzas? Yeah, I know that one.
Like,
Nice.
I haven't been, but I've heard about
oh,
it.
it's
I
so
wanna go.
good. I mean, it might be, yeah, it's
Yeah.
very good. But all right, so one topic that
Oh god. Okay.
going back to
We're
esports,
just gonna
since people are
Chat, everybody, just
Bring it
pull-
around.
We're gonna rein it back in a little bit.
just
a little bit. We're back in
Tiny bit.
esports, guys.
Though not necessarily esports, but
Oh,
definitely
Jesus.
gaming.
Christ.
Squid has been playing the absolute hell out of the Fire Emblem game,
Haven't seen him for like 2 weeks.
and
now.
that's why, like, yeah, I think this is the first time I've talked to him in a week and a half since he tilted off the PTR last week on stream.
Yeah.
But Squid,
really
the floor is yours with Fire Emblem. Convince me that I should play this game because I've never played a
Vince,
Fire
I know
Emblem game.
nothing about Fire Emblem.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Do you like JRPGs?
Honestly, I don't know if I've ever played one.
Okay, well, shit. No.
What are some popular JRPGs? If you name enough, I might have
Have you
played one.
played a Persona game?
I played. Yes, I have.
Okay, so imagine a Persona
4.
game, but then like every 30 minutes, we're gonna throw you into a turn-based strategy game where you're playing with these characters that you've developed relationships with.
Oh. Okay, I can dig that.
Yeah,
I can
but
see-
yeah. So
Isn't Persona 5 kind of like that though?
I haven't
It
actually-
kind of is.
I don't know. But yeah, so Fire Emblem historically is like strictly a turn-based strategy game with a little bit of story sprinkled on top, and then you like develop characters over time, whatever. But it wasn't all that involved. And it's something that I always struggled staying interested in as much as I like turn-based strategy. It was just kind of like, all right, you're doing the same thing over and over again. Oh no, I let that guy die. Okay, that sucks. Okay, and then like I eventually would lose it. but they strike a really interesting balance in kind of how they've revamped the series on this game, where they introduce that whole like RPG, almost like life sim kind of thing, into the other half of it. And you get kind of like, once you start to get part of like once you start to get bored of one part, you go back into the other part of it, and like bounces back and forth the whole time, but they complement each other really well. So you're almost kind of playing two separate genres in one game. And then there are things about like the choices that you make affect the outcome of the game and all that stuff, although not nearly on the same scale as something like the Witcher series. But it's a fun game, and it's got a lot of polish on it. I think solid 8 or 9 out of 10, and not like an IGN.
I've seen a couple like short gameplay videos, and it looked really well made. Yeah, it's for the Switch, which is why I haven't acquired it, because I don't have a Switch.
And you guys should buy a Switch Lite when it comes out.
Black Friday is my time to shine.
Yeah. Why are you shaking your head no?
Is the Lite mobile only?
Yeah, so the Lite is mobile only.
See, if I'm gonna get one, I'm gonna get like the full thing.
Yeah, I would recommend it. Maybe the price of the full Switch will go down when the Switch Lite comes out, although
it's Nintendo, it won't.
I doubt it. Yeah,
it won't. But also the price of the Switch honestly isn't that bad, and on Black Friday it's gonna be like a very friendly price.
So the price of the base console is not bad, but once you want to start to throw more stuff on top of it, and some of it what I consider necessary, it gets a little worse. So like the base console is what, 300?
300 even.
300, but then you're going to want a Pro controller, so that's another 60, and then you're going to want to play a couple games, so those are like 50-60 bucks a piece.
This is why consoles are a scam.
I didn't actually mind playing without a Pro controller the last few times I played. I didn't really mind it that much.
I don't know. I think it's a nice, like, if you're planning on playing it a lot in like TV mode or whatever the heck you want to call it, it makes a big difference to me, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting, and I think there's something to talk about with Nintendo where, Hops was saying like, oh, it's Nintendo, they're not going to drop the price of their console, right? There's something interesting where it seems like Nintendo doesn't have to follow like capitalism at all, or like there's no competition. Like Nintendo just does whatever the fuck it wants, and Nintendo fans will buy it, and like generally it's good content. Like they don't do anything too crazy, but like they're in this weird place where like, not that they can do no wrong, but that they can just kind of do whatever the fuck they want and people will buy it. Like, how did we get there?
I guess because I guess it's consistency. They've just consistently done like the same content that people love. Like they update it, they add new plot lines, and they add new like stuff, and they do it in a way where the gameplay is unique. And because they're the first ones to hit on gameplay that's unique, but it's not crappy, like no one else wants to touch it because then they'll just get like shit on for copying Nintendo. And then also because like I don't think anyone can come up with something as original as like what Nintendo comes up with in the same level of completeness and just satisfaction that Nintendo does. Like Nintendo just like consistently puts out stuff that's satisfying to play and is like really well made, really well polished. I don't know, I guess it's a consistency thing more than anything else.
I mean, the one thing that I do respect them greatly for is the fact that they're not afraid to take chances. I mean, they made the Virtual Boy in the 90s, for Christ's sakes. The 3DS, which is gimmicky at best, they still did some great content for that. The Switch and the Wii. We're going to forget that the Wii U existed. But,
my sister had a Wii U.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
I don't know. I played Mario Kart Deluxe, so I didn't complain that hard. Because it was that Wii U only, or was it for Wii as well?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's interesting too because they've always like, there's always been the quote unquote console war, but I feel like Nintendo hasn't participated in that since like the first big console war when it was what, like the OG Xbox and the PlayStation 1 or 2 or whatever it was.
Really, their biggest console war that they've been in was when they beat the Sega Dreamcast. Yeah. And ever since then, they said, you guys can do all that. We're just doing our own thing.
And then like yoink, we're gonna take Sega stuff and put it on on Nintendo consoles.
Sega like had dealers like, here, take our stuff, please. We need the money, please, sir. Don't let me die.
I know.
I found out. I was hanging out with some family over the weekend. They actually made a Sonic the Hedgehog and Shadow the Hedgehog variant of the Joy-Cons for the Switch, and I had to like think about it for a second and be like, wait, that's not even Nintendo IP. Like, how is this a thing that happens?
Sega kind of just like gave them free license. They're like, we suck at our own stuff, so please do it for us because you clearly rock.
But if the Dreamcast would have come out a year later, I think we'd be talking about a completely different story. Dreamcast was such an amazing console, but I actually think it was too far ahead. Where like it couldn't get traction because people were still looking at it like, we want cartridges, blah 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 blah, and there was a lot of cool stuff that the Dreamcast had, but they dumped everything they had into it and failed.
I remember.
Really sure. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yes, Dreamcast was very extremely easy to pirate games. I may have had a few of those, but I still remember. I still remember the fact that they actually had like the memory cards that plugged into the controllers, and then you could actually pull the memory cards out, and you'd have like a little Tamagotchi there. You could actually take care of pets sometimes, and
oh my god, I want a Tamagotchi.
VMUs, yeah, they were so fun.
You know what they have in the new COD game I saw, sorry about Tamagotchi, is they have a wristwatch that's a Tamagotchi, and it tracks how many kills you have, and you feed it with kills. It's so bad.
All right, that may be how video games lead to violence, because I'm gonna break those things when I see them.
Yep. No, it's in game. It's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a physical item.
Yeah.
Is this how you get like your kill streak rewards? And
Yeah, it is. That's
but,
like
okay.
what the point is.
Actually, if I can tie back to the original, to what we talked about earlier, and Call of Duty, the new collector's highest priced version of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare comes with real working night vision goggles.
I saw that.
How are we going to explain to the Karens out there that we're not just giving the next mass shooter free night vision goggles? Is it in bad taste right now?
How good do you think they actually are?
There are people who have gotten their hands on them already, and they're pretty solid. I mean, you can go down to almost any sporting goods store right now and get night vision goggles for pretty cheap. I mean, my acquaintance, I should say, I'm not going to go as far as saying my friend, he actually has thermal optics, and that he got for just a couple $100.
Yeah, I think from what I understand.
I can't. That's so dumb.
From what I understand, so there are military variants of night vision goggles that we will not see that level of quality in the civilian sector for ever or for a while, or who knows. But there are definitely ones that you can probably go on Amazon and buy fucking night vision goggles. Like, I bet if you go on right now, and Hops is going to do it because he's a good man and a better man than I, you can definitely just pull up night vision goggles on Amazon, and they're a thing that you can buy. They're probably shit, but like that's a thing that exists.
Here we go.
Like, it's just infrared cameras,
for
right?
kids.
For kids.
The top result on Amazon is Sightmark SM15070 Ghost Hunter 1x24 night vision goggles. That's the #1 seller on Amazon right now.
$5. Wait, let's look at the specs.
All right, let's buy one. All right, we're gonna need everybody in chat to sub so we can afford to buy one of these and test it on our next podcast.
Oh my gosh! I mean, they
At 100
have
meters. It's a 54-meter cone.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I mean, and they have Amazon Kids for $14. You can get kids night vision goggles, adjustable spy gear night vision goggles with flip out lights, green lens.
Wait, if you have night vision goggles on though, how do you sight down a rifle?
Like, this is actually incredible, and I know I got on some sort of list by looking at that.
we're gamers, so we're
Yeah.
all on lists
Oh
now.
my god, if you scroll down, there's a
Thanks,
ghillie
Trump.
suit. It's only $36? What the heck?
Yeah, no, right here is a FLIR handheld thermal imager for $500.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Well, so
presumably for ghost hunting as well.
so
I
let
do
me
that
say,
literally every day.
the technology that goes into thermal imaging now is both available and inexpensive. Both
Just
in
like
the...
my body.
Yep.
But oh my god.
Oh dear lord. Trying to recover from that one. I mean, yeah, like you can buy like cooking thermometers that are infrared, that it's like the point and click ones, right? Like it's literally the same technology. It's the exact same thing.
People
You just
who
have more
use
tiny little
point and click
sensors.
thermometers are so silly. Why don't you just like? Why? I don't get it.
Because that way you don't need to like stick your hand into a fucking 200-degree turkey, bro. You're just like, I know how hot it is.
I mean, so that might be someone's deal. Is
It's my
anyway.
fetish.
Finger.
What?
Oh god.
Interesting, but okay.
Oh god. GoFundMe to send Maple to Victoria's Secret on a shopping spree. Let's go, chat.
Yeah.
Let's go.
God.
Yes, this did. We've. I think being able to see Maple is completely ruining any sort of professionalism I have.
We're just gonna go off the rails this week and next week, and then we'll try to reel it back when we have it again. After that, when I'm back.
Full
Normal
monopoly on Nintendo platform games and characters.
Yes. So
it's fine. Like, if they don't want to engage in console wars with someone else, that's their prerogative. They don't have to. They don't lose any money not like putting the latest Call of Duty game on their Switch. Like, they make plenty of money just selling Legend of Zelda. Like, why would you get into a console war if like you don't need to?
Well, so I think the bigger thing for me was that when I was thinking about this and thinking about things for the run sheet was that like I don't have a problem with Nintendo doing this, right? But the kind of things that Nintendo engages in as far as like exclusivity and like all these kind of things, people use to knock other platforms in the gaming industry. So is it like, is this something that like people actually care about, or are they just using it as an excuse to shit on other things? So like the best example, and one that we've talked about before, is the Epic Games Store, right? And like, if you think about it on some sort of a fundamental level, them having exclusivity deals with certain IP and only releasing it on their platform is the exact same thing that Nintendo is doing. Now, there are definitely differences there, but like...
I guess the difference is that Nintendo can choose to be exclusive because they make the games. Like, I'm not going to judge them for not giving their game to Xbox to sell, but Epic is making a deal with a game developer to not sell it on a different platform, which is scummy on both sides, because it's like, especially because it would be fine if Epic didn't have their like data mining thing. Like, if they didn't have that, I don't know if they still do. I stopped paying attention because I don't care. If they didn't have like the data mining issue, I wouldn't care. But since they do, it's like, why are you forcing me to use this platform to play Borderlands 3 when they're just gonna mine my Steam information? Like, I guess that's the issue that I have.
Okay, so it's not a problem at all with exclusivity, other than just like complaints about the platform, really. And I will say, from what I have heard, the data mining thing is an alleged thing that was never confirmed, and I have doubts about that.
I mean, if you ever look at
if you
ever look at the TOS, they do like data mine like basic Steam information when you.
But like everybody does.
Well, I know,
right?
but
Steam
like
does.
yeah, I mean, have you actually looked at the Discord TOS?
The Discord, yeah.
Oh, they know everything.
I mean, the Discord. I mean, if you have Discord going right now, they knew everything you're doing on your computer,
which is fine.
Which at this point, so to like villainize Epic.
They want to corsets with me, that's just fine with me.
Yes, and as I said in chat, 100 subs, I will do a corset stream. So make that happen. Oh no, I've been torrenting horse porn.
I don't. All my terabytes. What the heck? What is it in like 4K? Like 8K?
3D. 3D 200 FPS.
VR.
Bro.
VR.
Hells yeah.
3D horse porn is something I don't.
How many subs do we have left to go? 90.
No, 83.
Oh wow,
We're
doing it, chat.
We gotta grind that.
We're
streak
almost
game.
there. All right.
We'll get it with
the Twitch
WoW. We'll
Prime
get it with
sub.
that WoW Classic. By the way, got my characters yesterday. Yeah, baby.
Yes,
Little
yes,
syrup.
and
Syrup Sapling. Those
I
are
really am a big fan of the syrup sapling.
I thought it was a good one.
Which,
Maple syrup was clever though. I was like,
by the way, if anybody in chat wants to join us, we're gonna be playing on White Mane. I tentatively Alliance, but I might be swayed to the red side.
why would you not play Horde?
Because like I'm basically getting peer pressured into playing Alliance on, but
Okay, but why would you rather get peer pressured than have fun?
See, this is like a fundamental problem with the Alliance, right? Is that they can't just let people be. They need to pressure them into doing what they want them to do. This
Horde,
peer pressuring is Alliance. That's the problem with the Alliance.
No. The Alliance just wants their farms to stay there without getting destroyed by ravenous orcs coming from a different planet into their world.
The Horde.
Well, okay, we don't talk about the ravenous orcs from another planet because they are not the friendly Horde orcs. Those are third-party orcs.
Also, can I get the Pandaren
and
back,
summon
please?
demons.
No, Pandaren.
No, no fucking pandas.
No
I want
pandas.
to be a panda. I want to be a corpse.
Okay. For the record, I've been shit talking Horde in the industry Discord for a while now, mainly just to build up hype for when Taimu kicks my ass.
I think the streamers have their own server.
They're Faralina. It's
Faralina, that's what it is.
Piss Wrinkle. Fuck. Piss Wrinkle just blew my head. But yeah, so if anybody wants to join us, we will be either on Grobulus for the RP PvP or White Mane.
You said Herod for the RP.
I have.
Do you have one on Herod? Okay, that's all. I guess
Yep.
I gotta make one. Okay,
But
it's okay. We talked.
it's going to be interesting. The hype is real based on the WoW Classic clusterfuck that was naming yesterday. But
Oh my god.
So
It
how
was
do you
so
feel
bad.
about them making that a thing? That they're like 2 weeks ahead of the game, we're gonna tease it and just let you log into a server and make a character.
I think it's fine.
Nights.
I think it was fine.
I think it's fine because what it's doing is that it's just spoon feeding the hype a little bit.
It's just like classic advertising. Like, why would
Yeah.
you not do it? It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't help. Like, it helps you, and it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt anyone except for the people who are salty that they couldn't get in on character creation on the ground floor.
I'm gonna corpse camp everyone in chat right now. Y'all can suck it. I'm a dwarf in real life and I'm a dwarf in fantasy.
I think I'm
The whole point of fantasy is you're supposed to live a life that you don't already
I'm a
experience.
night elf.
But I can't carry an axe right now.
Why not? Just go buy one. If we get to 200 subs,
Also, where's your tracer mask? Come on, man.
I almost bought it. But $20. I couldn't do it. So corpse camp is what happens is that after you kill somebody, their corpse is laying there, and then when you're a spirit, so when you die in WoW, you become a spirit, you go to the graveyard and you have to run back to your body. Corpse camping is when you sit on the corpse, normally teabagging aggressively, wait for the guy to come back, and then you kill them again. You wait for them to come back and you kill them again.
Please do it.
It's gonna be so fun watching streamers experience that 24/7.
I
Oh,
want to see XQC play WoW.
XQC's planning on playing WoW, but I don't think he's gonna be in right at the first jump.
Also, his brain isn't big enough for that game.
I mean, like, it's gonna be okay because even if you're on the streamer servers, it's gonna be the end games that are gonna be the clusterfuck, right? Because the streamers are going to be going 100 miles an hour, trying to get to max level for content. Whereas if you're just a pleb, just go around, pick flowers, and let the mob go by, and then you quest.
That's gonna be me. I'm gonna be grinding piggies and chickens in the forest until I hit max level. Fucking
I never
South
played
Park
Classic.
style.
I only played a little bit of retail.
So,
Suck.
yeah.
Because I was youthful.
I wonder if anybody's going to do a pacify or a pacifist challenge in Classic. For those of you who do not know what a pacifism challenge is you get to max level without killing a single thing or doing one bit of damage. It's you go around, you do escort quests, you pick flowers, you mine, and it takes so long to do. But people have done it. People have done it on retail where they've leveled up to 100 on it, doing just pacifism.
Okay. I was gonna
Challenges.
ask what the end point was, because like you can't finish like the quest line because the quest lines all require you to kill things.
No, it's basically you don't even do quests,
It's just
or
like,
you
just get a
cherry
level.
pick. Like for example, there's always a level 5 quest where you take the flight master into town, and it's little things like that. You can do those quests, but anything that would require you to kill.
Chad is asking us for a stream where we level to max level on pigs. We're already bad personalities, and then giving us a situation where there's no new content just makes it worse.
No, that would be poor. That would be rough. I actually
Which would
like.
be boring for us.
Yeah, we need to have like a meme, like some meme YouTube video just on like loop somewhere or something interesting, or like watch a TV show in a corner of the stream while we play.
I just love how when you play Overwatch now, there's real cute for the streamers. Like common practice is just to watch like men in the woods making huts out of palm fronds and pieces of wood. Like literally, who was I watching yesterday? It was
XQC.
no, it wasn't XQC.
He like pioneered that, dude.
I know,
least for
but like
Overwatch.
it's like it's widespread now.
Oh yeah, because
I
once
remember
it gets
who it was, but he
popular
was
with one
watching-
person.
He literally watched a dude for 10 minutes just make a small hut in the woods in Australia out of palm fronds. And it was very nice. It was very interesting, but like
Well, I remember that being when I like first got into Overwatch and was talking to people about it. One of the, I mean, honestly, like legitimate criticisms was how long the queue times were and like what that meant for streamers. And I think this was like before they did some of the first matchmaking reworks. So in high GM and stuff like that, matchmaking took a really, really long time. And they were like, well, how are you going to retain viewers when you have a 20-minute game and then a 15-minute queue? And we've seen this like interesting evolution of streamers where they're doing things like this, but how long before they get like DMCA takedown or something for basically just profiting off of other people's content?
they never will, because like they watch like people who are just French enough where they don't care.
I mean, it just depends on what content they watch, right? Because
Yeah,
like,
well,
like
that's what I'm saying. If it's a fringe enough,
yeah, if it's a fringe or like
this dude had,
one, like one thing the Foreheads podcast has done that I've really enjoyed is where they will go down to the bottom of the Twitch viewerships and look for zero viewer streams and highlight them and talk about them. It was kind of interesting that XQC was watching the Dog Show Championships earlier, and he found out that Alinity apparently is in the dog agility trap bracket now, because there was a performer who basically yeeted her dog after a run, like he jumped up on her and she just like whoo, and just it was.
Oh, I thought you meant actual
I
Linity.
thought you
for a
meant
second.
literal, and
No.
it's like someone
Yeah.
didn't like smack her as she walked on stage.
No, and yes, going back to the DMCA's, as FLM said, CNN hard.
CNN's a cunt network.
But yeah, they went after people hard. People were getting 3 or 4 day bans and suspensions for it.
Yeah.
But you can
CNN
still throw a cat over your shoulder and you're fine.
Well, Twitch doesn't want to get fined.
I know, and Destiny had one of the better streams for debates. So that was unfortunate, but we will see.
Yeah, that's a conversation to not be had on the podcast or not on an esports podcast about how available things like presidential debates are. But anyway, not going to talk about that here. Do we have any actual other video game content, or are we just going to go like completely off the rails today?
Today
guess
was.
we
I mean,
found
we
things.
could go. We could go through.
Gigamax evolutions in Pokemon Sword and Shield look hilarious. I just think they look so stupid.
I think, yeah, going to the Gigamax evolutions. I think it's like, oh hey, you can't do Z moves, you can't do Mega evolutions. Let's do this. Just
I never
make the
I never
fuckers
played
big.
far enough into the Pokemon games to get to Mega Evolutions, so like I don't really know what that's about anyway.
But like, it's a mechanic that's bereft of creativity. All it is just like, we're gonna make these guys big.
Yeah,
That's basically all it is for.
Yeah, I don't know. They just like they need a new gimmick every time they have a series, and it seems like they just couldn't think of something interesting to do this time. And at least, like I will say, at least like the Gigamax thing is like visually appealing, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't wait for. I think what's really going to be interesting is that when you do team battles, and how your team only gets like 1 Gigamax use per battle. And in the Nintendo Direct, they were like, yeah, you'll have to work with your friends to figure out when to use it at just the right time. And I'm like, oh, this is going to cause as much grief as like Maze Icefall in Overwatch.
Yeah. I think probably the bigger part that I'm most disappointed with the game is the fact that they don't have the entire Pokedex available.
I just don't get that. Like, logically, what is the point of not letting me catch a...
Well, also, like, one of their biggest things is that they said, oh, well, that would take so much time to write the moves and write the animations and make the characters. Bitch, you did that in Pokemon, or Let's Go Pokemon, or Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
They've like
yeah, but Let's Go is just the first generation of Pokemon. That's not all like 9 trillion Pokemon that exist.
But like every previous game, they've rewritten and added all the Pokemon. Like it's not.
It's because of their mobile game. I guarantee you that this is probably going to be one of the last, like, tentpole Pokemon games where it's coming out on the Switch. It's going to be Sword and Shield. When the new Pokemon mobile game comes out, and it's going to explode because people have been wanting Pokemon on their phones since day one, that is where Game Freak's going to go.
It's a good transition.
Could you imagine like AR Pokemon if like AR ever really took off in the near future, where you're walking around with like your Google Glasses 3.0 or whatever the fuck it's called, and like you literally see a Pikachu and then you can go and like catch the Pikachu and then battle people's Pokemon? Sorry, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I would want that over a Switch any.
Is there actually like an announced mobile Pokemon game?
Yes, Pokemon Masters comes out on the 29th of this month.
Do I have
for
it?
iOS and Android? It's pre-order now for free.
I think I did then.
But
I think someone advertised one of the Discord servers.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept, and I definitely think that as Game Freak moves on, we're gonna see less and less actual console Pokemon content. So that means handheld, like 3DS handheld games, Switch Lite, things like that. That's all going to be pushed to the back burner. And Pokemon Go still makes about $1 billion a year. I mean, Pokemon Masters is going to make a shitload of money.
What is the premise of Masters?
Yeah, what is...
like a more traditional Pokemon game but on mobile?
It's
or like
it's going to be the entire thing. It's going to have stories. It's going to have battling. It's going to have it's a full fleshed out Pokemon game for free.
I need a new phone.
On.
Okay, I dig that.
Yeah, like
I guess honestly, if I was the developers of Pokemon, I would do that also because at this point I would want to appeal to like the original audience than I would to like kids, because the people who like played the originals are more diehard fans than children ever would, anyways, and kids just want to play Pokemon Go because they want the instant gratification. So it's a good move.
All right, so here is Pazio is an artificial island where each trainer has one trusted Pokemon partner. Together, the trainer and their Pokemon are known as a sync pair, and they participate in 3-on-3 team battles. The Pokemon Masters League is a tournament held on Pazio. It features gym leaders, Elite Four members, champions, and other all-stars from every region who come together to form teams and battle in intense 3-on-3 battles. So like Brock and Misty and other like previously loved characters from other games are going to be making a reappearance. which is
I am
something they
already
haven't
thinking
done.
of all the ways that they can monetize this for a free phone game. Like,
Oh,
you can only
100%.
participate in so many battles a day, but buy this power up and you get 2 more battles a day, and like all the shit
Yeah.
like that.
Hmm. And I mean, I'm looking at it right now where it's actually like it's 3-on-3 and it's going to be PvP and it's going to be your 3 versus my 3 and it's going to be real time back and forth. It looks very good, but there's going to be so much nickel and diming, I think, that's going to happen, that you're going to have the whales who are going to spend the $800-900 a year on this game. Um, it's
Way
just
more than
interesting.
that.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, that's I know somebody personally who has put in over $1,500 in Pokemon Go.
Jesus.
So, and he's low end. Hell, I think I spent probably 500 in my 3+ years playing it. So, that's the insidious thing about the mobile games, right? Is that, if you just buy, oh, this is like $3 now. It's no big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and like just pick up this box of coins or whatever. But that $3 is gonna add up if you keep doing it over and over and over.
Dude, it's like fucking like smoking cigarettes at that point.
So do I choose like which people I want to play with, or do I get like paired with like random online people?
That I do not know.
It's hard because I'm looking at the website and it's like very trainers.
Oh, Chibi, I know for a fact there is a game called WWE Supercard. It is essentially a game where you play. It's a trading card game mixed with like wrestling, and there are people who have admitted to spending $23,000 on this game.
Jesus.
There's a Star Wars game out that I can't remember what it's called right now that people spend in the thousands on. It's the whales that exist in mobile gaming is absolutely nuts.
China, all of China.
But yeah,
I don't
so
know. I think there's plenty of people in the U.S. and
There are definitely plenty of
Other
people in the
countries.
US.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just know that China's like a big mobile game market.
yeah.
okay. So here's this. These are the trainers for the Pokemon Masters. It's main character, and you start with Pikachu. You have Brock and Onyx, Misty and Starmie, Rosa and Snivy. You have Red and Charizard, Blue with Pidgeot, and they go down and they have like all of these famous trainers.
Wait. We're gonna give Red a fucking Charizard, and then do my boy Blue dirty and give him a fucking
We're
like.
red and blue.
Pidgeot.
Yeah,
You were the original characters
Yeah.
in like the first.
Yeah.
I
the
didn't play
original-
I didn't have the means to play like the original ones.
yeah. The original Pokemon games were Red and Blue version.
I knew
Red.
that, I just didn't know they were characters.
Yeah. And it says Red and Charizard, the silent type. This legendary, awesome Pokemon trainer hardly talks at all. His best friend Blue is also his rival. Is there something different about his clothing? And he has a Charizard, and the other dude has a Pidgeot.
Dude, could you imagine being
Wait,
like?
what?
being
Wait, why
like-
have they cuckold one of them with just a Pidgeot?
That's what I'm saying, right? That's so fucked up. Like, imagine being like, "Ah, yes, I have this esteemed dragon type Pokemon. My rival has a
Give him
fucking bug."
Blastoise.
Yeah, no, he should have a Blastoise. He should have something else.
What?
Did they
I mean, unless
advance to a
that
Dragonite? That would
Unless
be
that
fucking dope.
Pidgeot's like trained out the wazoo.
Even then, it's still.
Swift.
I'm trying to find.
Swift, fly. Quick attack.
Yeah,
Poor
it's.
fucking Blue, man.
Aerial Ace. That was the high level Pidgeot.
Aerial Ace
attack.
was not in the first game.
It wasn't. It was. I think they introduced it in Fire Red.
Yeah, so pretty much, yeah, it's like I'm looking through right now, and it's like sync pairs. There are no wild Pokemon on Pazio, and trainers
So how
and
do you get
Pokemon who have formed sync pairs in order to participate in the PML always act together.
Wait, so do you steal other people's Pokemon
Yeah,
then?
do you literally beat
meet a
people up with, like,
vast-
their Pokeballs?
Meet a vast array of sync pairs. You'll form a team that's all your own. So pretty much instead of going out and catching wild Pokemon, you're meeting up with these sync pairs, and you're creating a team with another trainer.
Throw
Okay.
Pokeballs at other trainers, shove them in their.
That would be
They have
amazing.
Pokeballs in their pockets with the Pokemon while they're in a Pokeball. Wow.
Yeah.
That's some meta Pokeball shit right
It's like it sounds like a cluster on a couple of these points, but like I have
Sounds like
no
it'd be
doubt
really
it's
cool.
it's gonna make millions, and I like.
I'll
So, like,
battle you, Hops. I'll beat you. My level 10,000 Venus. Oh
I've already given up on this game. Just give me sword and shield, please. I want the bike that turns into an aquatic bike.
I want
That's like
Animal.
the thing
I just
I'm
want
most hyped
Animal
about.
Crossing.
but
I want a better mobile Animal Crossing than the one they made. Like, I
Yeah.
want like a full Animal Crossing game for mobile, so I can zen out in the middle of the day.
But like the Switch is mobile. That's the whole point, is that it's mobile.
but you
But if they're
but
making a mobile Pokemon game, why can't they make a mobile Animal Crossing?
Because you guys already have phones, don't you? You all have.
Yeah,
phones.
you're right. I play Diablo Immortal all the time.
Yo, people meme on that, but I bet that game made billions of
Dude.
dollars in Asia.
Oh, it did.
oh, it
Guaranteed.
did.
I
It
didn't
did-
even
it-
know they like had released it. I
No,
forgot
it's not. It's not out in over here.
Yeah,
there
there's
is a mobile Animal Crossing.
You
It's
don't,
pretty
like,
bad.
You don't pay off Tom Nook the Crook. You just like go around and pick mangoes from trees and then like upgrade your camp. It's really dumb. It's very monetized. I want like a proper Animal Crossing that doesn't feel like I actually
So they
have.
made like Animal Crossing Farmville.
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
It's really shitty. Like every other Nintendo game that they've made for mobile has been pretty well made and hasn't been like highly monetary in nature, but Animal Crossing is just like pay money so you can upgrade your camp faster. It's like no, I will not pay back Tom Nook the Crook with real money, only with mangoes.
How long ago was Farmville?
Farmville
When was
was
that
like
game?
About
2000.
11,
9?
12 years ago.
Is it really that old at this
I
point?
think 2009 was the height of Farmville. 2008.
It's crazy to think about, like, so nobody touches that game anymore, I assume.
Oh,
how
I
much-
know a couple people who unironically play Farmville every once in a while.
Really?
Dude, their
Yeah.
website still shows that
Holy
it's still
shit.
very, very
Well,
popular.
because they updated it and they changed.
They have a Farmville too. Holy shit!
They also have
All right.
Cityville.
Oh no!
So-
All right, we've got Hops hooked on Farmville, guys.
So they have Farmville, Farmville 2, Farmville Country Escape, Farmville
Oh,
2
that's
Tropic Escape, Farmville Harvest Swap.
When do they have Farmville Terraform Mars? That's the one I played.
The Harvest Swap sounds like you're swapping sister wives or something.
Okay, Farmville was the top game by daily active users
Jesus
on
Christ.
Facebook between August 2009 and December 2010, when Cityville claimed the top spot.
Man, Cityville, that was a game. What a good one.
I never
Like,
played it.
It is amazing how much those have like impacted the gaming community.
Hmm Dude,
It's crazy to think about.
I'll put it this way: Farmville completely ruined World of Warcraft because
Seriously?
Yeah.
shortly after Farmville came out, they released an expansion called Warlords of Draenor, where they literally gave you a garrison, they gave you fields to plant, they gave you workers to manage, where pretty much you didn't have to do anything but play basically World of Farmville, and it killed the multiplayer aspect of the game, and it has went in the shitter since then. It's when my love of World of Warcraft died, is during the Farmville
It's about to
stage.
be reborn, baby. Don't you worry.
I know.
Was that the expansion after Lich King?
No, that was the expansion after Cataclysm.
Oh, which was the one after Lich King. Okay.
No, the one after Lich King was Missa Pandaria. Was the Pandas? I believe so.
By
Let me
the
see.
way, watching Tim, Emong, Seagull, Red Shell, and Kefri 5-stack for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
We just need to get.
Hilarious.
I stand by the fact that Overwatch desperately needs the Tim, Lasses, and Moon trio again.
Oh, Lass was there at the beginning.
Yep, Lass
He
was there.
So good. And Moon's probably gonna like come tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
No,
But, like, when
Moon's.
Tim, Lass, and Moon
Moon
were
said he was
trioing,
gonna do it.
and then
He's
they
ready.
had like when Emon came in and made that a 4-stack. Like those are some of my favorite streams.
Dude,
Even though
it
like
came back.
this was fucking boosted and half of them suck at the game.
Tim was like actually pretty okay. I was
Tim's-
surprised He was just kind of like getting dicked on because of new CC that he didn't know.
This is one thing that I think is, I don't think anybody's ever said this before, but I think Fortnite has genuinely helped Tim's mechanics.
It really has. Like, it was impressive how many dinks he was getting.
Yeah, no, I watched him for a little bit on lunch today, and he was, and
It
like,
was-
again, like, Overwatch has never recovered from the loss of Tim, Moon, and XQC.
like him, I think across the day, you've had Tim who had like 40K viewers watching Overwatch, and then XQC had 30K, and Seagull had like 10K or something. And then they were playing with Red Shell, Kefri, who pulls in like an average of like 5K, and I don't know if Laz was streaming.
Laz
He gets, like,
generally
5K.
doesn't, and Tim did dink before, but
But he didn't dink as like he was.
like he was
He was just
popping off
very
in McCree.
consistent. Yeah.
No, so I mean, last had been a part of it too, and he used to be bigger, but his stream has dropped really drastically in popularity. I don't know if that's just because he stopped queuing with Tim and Last.
Yeah,
or
I think a
It
lot of
is.
it has to do with the fact that Laz is a tremendous player, but without having it's like Tim's a cult of personality. Like he
Yeah.
could be the worst player in the game, and people are 20,000 are still going to watch him because he's Tim.
And he's gotten way more popular since he had a child too. Like,
Oh yeah, Papa
like when
Tim
he
is.
he got so many viewers. Holy shit. It was a good stream though. It really felt like the old days,
Yeah.
and I hope that they will at least semi-consistently play, because it reminded me of how entertaining it is to watch Overwatch with like good personalities.
I mean, yeah, Brewer. That takes some confidence to name your child Brewer. I love it. I love it so much. I don't know. I mean, guys like Tim, their vast majority of their current base are still Fortnite. So I don't think we're ever
But
going to
I
see
don't
these
think
guys.
like all 40,000 people watching him. Well, not all of them, but like a fair majority were hyped that he was playing Overwatch again. Like, if you
yeah.
look at the chat, like people were
I
like
mean,
fucking stoked.
And you probably had a fair amount of his old viewers come back.
Like
but-
the 5-year, 6-year viewers, yeah.
Hey,
You know
absolutely.
who else? You know who else is streaming Overwatch right now? Calvin.
Yep. Calvin
It's like-
coming
it's
back.
like all the old like.
Well,
mainstays are
Calvin,
coming
I
back.
think Calvin just like inconsistently streams. He usually like plays Overwatch, just
So
not
he
super consistent.
until like he was mostly playing Apex
Mhm.
for the last like year or so, and he
Seriously?
started
Yeah.
back in now. Yeah, he hadn't really played Overwatch in a while either. But he also just like was streaming inconsistently as well.
Yeah, it was like once a week or something. But like
yeah. So,
like half the time I was watching, he would be playing Overwatch. I think
so to address Last Light's question in chat, yeah, a lot of the like kind of quote unquote old guard are saying they're going to come back and at least try Overwatch with roll queue. I think some of them will stay. I think a lot of them are still going to get fucked over by stream snipers the same way that they did before, and that was like
See,
the bigger reason that they
Overwatch needs a streamer mode.
But then the funny thing is someone asked Tim about that, and Tim was like, "I don't really care because I get it worse in Fortnite anyways.
Yeah.
Because I get a
and,
whole lobby of people
That's
who are
fair.
stream
yeah,
sniping me.
and that's the
as
thing
opposed to one
is
person.
like Apex has led a revolution in a lot of mechanics, and I think their streamer mode is one of the unsung.
I don't even know how
Wait,
that stream mode works. Someone
The
mentioned
streamer
it.
mode, it essentially makes it impossible to stream snipe. You can kind of guess, but it's very difficult because
Oh.
it changes all the names. So like if you were to kill me, it would turn around and say Gibraltar 8471 has killed you. Or it doesn't show your queue times, it doesn't show when you hit the button, it doesn't show any of that when you're actually on the stream, so it makes it
Oh.
much difficult. Plus, like when it pops up and says, "Hey, this is your top squad," all those are anonymous names. They're just based on the character it is. Fortnite and Overwatch need streamer modes as well. I think that
Fortnite
at this,
definitely does.
I think at this point, it would be easy to do. All it would do is just randomize things,
Yeah.
and it would cause so much. It would relieve so much pain on these popular streamers to get sniped.
So I don't even know if you need to randomize names once people are in game, because like, I don't know. I feel like there are so many more like better experiences watching these guys like play and being like, Emon gets in a game, and there's like a kid that's like a big Emon fan that's like, wait, oh my god, is that the real Emon in my game? And like kind of freaks out and like has a great time like playing with him and everything. Like I think there's a lot of really good experiences like that, and I'd hate to see all those go away. I don't know, but definitely at least hiding like when they're queuing and what queue times look like and all that kind of stuff, I think would be hugely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and like I don't know if you've noticed it, but like when Tim queues into Fortnite, he has a completely different stream screen broadcast. You don't even hardly see the main Fortnite screen anymore, so you don't know when he's queuing. You don't know. You're only seeing the loading screen or the actual. So I think there's some personal stuff that people can do, but yeah, it just there's more that I think games can do to help streamers than they are doing. Even though there was a report coming out from Polygon last week, and we do not have the time to talk about it, but a Twitch streamer admitted that he was approached by a game company to deceive people about loot boxes and what they were getting, and he was getting special loot boxes. Not in Overwatch. I think it was one of the Call of Duty games. I'm not 100% sure. I have to look that up. But, so streamer loots is a thing.
Streamer loot! Oh man, please send out that link. I need to read that and just...
I will look for that right now. You guys fill time.
Anyways, I think if Tim doesn't play, it's not because he doesn't like the game. It's because he's at Masters and he can't do it with anyone he actually wants to play with. Like literally, Seagull is struggling to find an account where he can play with.
So I think when he was playing it every day, I think Tim was like legitimate Grandmaster on certain heroes, and Moon was definitely Grandmaster, and Last was like Masters that got boosted by the rest of that stack.
Yeah.
But they're all like coming back into, they're all coming back after like a pretty long break or like not having played it regularly. And I'd expect
Moon's gonna be like in a completely different universe. He actually has, because Tim like touches it every couple seasons and does placements, but Moon just hasn't legitimately touched the game.
What does Moon even play now?
He plays a lot of Super Mario.
Yeah.
Maker.
Basically what he does is that he will find a game that he likes and just stream it for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, and then it'll just be like,
Super
I'm
Mario
done.
Maker for the rest of his life. Like he's literally never gonna stop.
Yes, I mean
he loves that game.
Yeah.
I mean, and I have to say that game has got to be great for content creators because there's always new content.
He just finds these random bullshit levels and he's like, what the fuck? What's happening right now? This is amazing. Hours.
So going back to that article, this is let me just go ahead and read it. In a remarkable exchange today in Washington, D.C., the leader of a major management company for YouTube and Twitch celebrities said that a video game publisher has approached his clients to willfully misrepresent how loot boxes work. Omid Dariani, CEO of Online Performers Groups, also expressed frustration with online video game platforms regarding required disclosures of paid advertisements. Based on your expertise, Frassetto asked, do video game publishers pay these content creators to open loot boxes? Do they pay for the loot boxes? And if so, they at times give them better odds than the public at large. And how much of that is disclosed? Dariani replied, companies do pay for that sort of thing. It's pretty uncommon for it to be, hey, just open up a bunch of loot boxes, but we've definitely seen that. And the article goes into more. So this is a talent agent admitting that companies have went to him trying to get his client to misrepresent loot box odds.
Yeah.
Well, within like a day of that, all consoles had said that the games that are on their consoles have to disclose the odds of loot boxes or some such. Like Switch said it, PS4 said it, Xbox said it. Yeah, like all of them have said that they want loot box.
I mean, it is completely fair to say that if it's completely hidden about what it is, then it's legitimately gambling, and you're encouraging especially underage kids to gamble. Yeah. And yeah, fuck that, man. That's not acceptable. We need to do something about that to make it at least closer to like how every other industry has been regulated in that regard in similar ways. So either you ban it outright for underage people, or you make it so it's not gambling anymore. Like, I don't see the problem there.
Like, I wish they did it kind of like in Here's the Storm, because every time you level up, you get a certain amount of gold, and you can still like buy currency and whatnot, but it's not like random. Like, you're buying 500 gems or whatever, and you get like 100 gold per game. Like, I wish they would just do that in Overwatch instead of loot boxes.
So, oh, and then you use those gems and stuff towards cosmetics.
Yeah. So they have shards, gold, and gems. Gems can buy anything. Shards buy aesthetics, and gold buys characters and like mounts. Obviously, it wouldn't be that complicated in Overwatch, but I wish they had something like that, because it would just get rid of the gambling.
All right, well, we can dive deeper into this topic next week, but for this week, I think we are almost out of time as Maple adjusts his. I think Maple just had an earthquake in his bedroom.
I was adjusting my monitor.
Earthquake.
Yeah, that's really not like. We need to teach you camera etiquette, my boy.
We're just making sure that Chad is paying attention to us.
So we're gonna go around. Squid, do you have anything you want to plug? Or if anything, yeah.
My name is Squid. Follow me on Twitter at SquidOnTheBase. It's probably gonna be shit posting about Fire Emblem for the next few weeks and not much else. Hopefully I'll have pictures and stuff from Grand Finals when that comes around. We'll have a bunch of ELO Hell people there. We're gonna do some ELO Hell stuff. That'll be in like a month and a half, so I don't know why I'm plugging it now. Yeah.
Okay, bud.
That was the greatest plug of all time.
Do you need a calendar?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Maple Syrup. I've been an addict for 3 years now. You can find me at Maple Syrup OW on Twitch or Twitter. I'm gonna try streaming my placements whenever I do them.
I think okay. And my name is Hops. Tomorrow is my first official day as esports coordinator for Washington State University. And we start off with a LAN tournament, so it's going to be fun.
Start on a Wednesday? What fucking job starts on a Wednesday?
School starts next week, so.
Oh, also the event's tomorrow. He retweeted the tweet. There's like a gaming event tomorrow.
Yep, we are having. It's called Press Start WSU. It's pretty much for the week of welcome, where we're trying to introduce all of the new students to the esports club and everything. I have had basically this much interaction with this event. This has been all student funded, but it looks amazing. They have Smash tournaments, they have a 2K tournament, they have a bunch of other stuff. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to actually being a part of it tomorrow and moving forward.
Poggers.
So with that said, I hope everyone had a good time with our rambling, meandering stream.
Bad this week.
Oh man,
this is one where we're gonna have to decide offline if this goes on YouTube or if it goes in the vault until the end of time.
I think it was good, but we can chat about that later. Stream, you guys have a wonderful night.